Hello everyone. Have a nice day. Thank you, Andrew, for this incredible story. Enjoy listening.
The Lord helped when I was at the last line. The Lord's plan is not a schedule of meetings and a precise plan written in a diary, but his attitude. Andrew Douce. How many mornings have I stood, trying to gather my thoughts, in front of the building in which my newspaper's newsroom is located? I prayed, or rather begged the Lord to save me. I knew that soon the staff would begin to gather and I would have to smile a fake smile and make jokes. Although I was cordial and friendly on the outside, everything was black in my soul. I felt like I was in a deep well with smooth stone walls. Inside the well was dark and empty, like my life. And I couldn't get out of there. I prayed, but I knew God could not hear me. I couldn't hold it against him, because even when I promised to quit, I was still thinking about drinking. But really, God heard me and was waiting. I was 50 years old, a successful journalist, husband, father, and even grandfather, and a hopeless alcoholic. I was working, performing various social functions, and constantly drinking, planning where and when I would drink, and hiding my alcoholism. My life was built on lies. I tried to make it look normal on the outside, even though the fire of an all-consuming habit was burning me from the inside. Every morning when I got out of bed, I poured myself a glass. Most of the time I vomited, but I didn't give up and drank more. And then more and more until I had enough liquor in my stomach to make me stop shaking. I tried to change the stores where I bought alcohol, but every time I walked in the door, the employee at the register knew exactly why I was there. I couldn't fool anyone. I hated myself for having more fun spending time with a few liters of beer than I did with my family. At the time, the two most important things to me were alcohol and work. I was proud of the articles that came out from under my pen. As long as I was able to write, I still had enough self-respect to get on with my life. I was afraid of losing everything. What if they found out at work that I was an alcoholic? Or that my liver would fail? But the fear disappeared, at least for a few hours, as soon as I had a few drinks. God, I prayed, can you see me? Can you hear me? I am dying. Don't you care? But my prayers went unanswered. In spite of this, I continued to pray fervently, and I don't know why. Because I knew that alcohol would definitely answer my prayers and bring me sweet oblivion. Alcohol gave me what I wanted, when I wanted it. And so December came. After a weekend spent drinking non-stop, I went to work. Before the new year, the newspaper had its most voluminous and interesting issue, but I could not gather my thoughts to write something. I got up and went outside. I felt terrible, I was in pain, and there was no hope left. I broke down, couldn't stand it, and quit my job, which was the only justification for my life. I wanted to die. I prayed and waited for an answer, even though I was sure I would never get one. Finally, I was ripe to seek professional help. My wife and I made some calls and I was enrolled in an alcohol recovery program. I walked into the building where this program was being held. I felt lonely, and I was scared. But it soon became clear that I was not the only person on earth who had a problem with alcohol. I went through a detox program, spent a lot of time in therapy with a psychoanalyst, and participated in discussions at an alcohol treatment center. Only after that did I find the strength to pray again. This time it was short. God, I squeezed out, and then feelings overwhelmed me. Tears streamed down my cheeks. Every cell in my body felt the presence of God. It was an amazing feeling, as if I had been electrocuted. That night, for the first time in years, I fell asleep in peace, knowing that God's will was done according to our needs, not our desires. I realized what God's plan was. It turns out He had always heard me. He just waited for me to deal with the problems I had created for myself before He began to help me. If He had saved me, I would not have appreciated it and would have continued to drink as before. If He had answered my prayers the way I wanted, I probably never would have quit drinking. It's been a few months since I quit. I still pray every morning in front of the building where my newsroom is located. I pray and give thanks for everything, and I know He hears me. He hears me now and heard me then, when I was drowning in fear and selfishness and hating myself. I was ready to die rather than continue to exist in my personal hell, and then God answered my prayers and gave me another chance. God helped me when I was at the last line,